Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Here on this channel we talk about faith, motherhood, lifestyle and parenting. My name is Kelvin Sikero and I'll be speaking to you on a series termed Intelligence. Throughout this series we are going to be talking about the different kinds of intelligence quotient that we have, and I will be explaining to you how one functions, and if another one is lacking, how it can affect your standard of living or how it can affect you in life. Now, generally, what do we call intelligence? Intelligence is actually, in a simple term, the ability of the mind to capture things. Human intelligence is marvelously complex. For centuries, researchers has been, trying to figure out a whole lot of things as regards intelligence. But there is no standard basis of how we can actually capture the word intelligence. But when we talk generally about intelligence, we should know it has something to do with your mind. It's based on the structure of the mind and what we have learned over time. I'll be talking strictly on 5 kinds of quotients. I'm going to be talking about intelligence quotient. I'm going to be talking about emotional quotient. I'm going to be talking about social quotient. I'm going to be talking about adversity quotient. And I'm going to be talking about spiritual quotient. A whole lot of people will be asking me, what is spiritual quotient? Well, if you've not heard that before, you are hearing for the first time, and I want you to take it with me. Because in this contemporary world we cannot separate the spiritual aspect of life from the physical aspect of life. In fact, it is from the spiritual that life emanates from. Alright, but today strictly I'll be talking on, briefly talking about the intelligence quotient. Now, a whole lot of us, one way or the other, we have heard about IQ, or probably your dad, when he wants to spat at you, he will tell you your IQ is low. When you are in school, if you don't do well, your teacher can tell you his IQ is low or his capacity cannot carry whatever thing he's doing. Now, IQ is what is needed in, educational life. While you're in school, the ability for you to read and understand, that is what we call comprehension. The ability for you to analyze things, the ability for you to, memorize, the ability for you to write an exam, to solve simple problems, and also the ability for you to understand abstract ideas. That is what your IQ will do to you. Now, research has made us to understand that people who have high IQ oftentimes don't become really successful in life, because these people are entangled in a particular triangle whereby they see life from a different perspective. Please don't get me wrong, I want you to follow perfectly. They see life from a different perspective. For the fact that you have done well in school may not amount that you are going to do well in life. In fact, there is no relationship. There is a correlation, but it does not ultimately guarantee that having a high IQ will guarantee success in life. No, there are other factors that are involved, and that is what you must know as individual. So in this series, we are going to be talking about the advantages and the disadvantages and how we can balance our life to have a very good life to live. That will take us to the second one, which is your EQ. That is emotional quotient. Now, your emotion generally is the ability for you to sense your emotion in you first, and you are able to also sense that emotion in others. That is what we call emotional quotient. So emotional quotient is very important in making life decisions. If you are not stable emotionally, there are so many things you are going to get wrong in your life. I know very many people who were so brilliant while we were in school, while we were in university, while we were in our institution. They were so good, they were academically brilliant, but their EQ is low or is operating at negative. And you see that these people till today, they are still struggling with life. How is that possible? Follow me closely. There are a whole lot of things you are going to enjoy having a high EQ. Number one, you are going to know how to control your impulses. You are going to know what you are feeling and how others are feeling about a particular situation. This makes you to fit in into society, to fit in into the culturally established standard of behaviors that we refer to as norms, the folklores, even the morals of a society. This will help you in delayed gratification. High EQ helps people to make good decisions. When it comes to a point in their life, they have to make decisions for themselves. When you don't have a high EQ, making decision will be very, very difficult, or when you make decision, there's every tendency you make the wrong decision. High EQ will also make you to be able to communicate effectively with others. Believe you me, there is no job in the world that will not involve, good communication skills. EQ will give you a better way to communicate to other people. EQ will also help you to be able to resolve conflicts with others. Now, before we close for today, I want to tell you the difference between the EQ and the IQ. The EQ being emotional quotient and the IQ being your intelligence quotient. Intelligence quotient will help you while you are in school, while you are trying to recollect, while you are trying to read, while you are trying to do, you are preparing for an exam. And that has to do with the cognitive aspect of learning. That is your high Q. Your IQ has to do with the cognitive aspect of learning. Don't forget, in learning, we have the cognitive aspect, we have the psychomotor, that has to do with the skills, and we have the affective domain. Now, the affective domain is what gives birth to what we refer to as the emotional quotient. In life, emotional quotient is more important than your intelligence quotient. Now, when you are emotionally stable, when you have high EQ, it tends to give you edge towards attacking whatever thing that comes in life. Like I do tell some of my students, I said the first thing in life is not for you to be taught about success. Success is very good, but handling failure or managing whatever thing that is within your reach is far more important than pursuing whatever it is you want to pursue. Because in the journey of life, failure is inevitable. In the journey of life, a lot of things comes as what we refer to as unforeseen circumstances. That is, those things you did not prepare for. When this thing comes, how are you able to manage it? Your emotional intelligence will come in that regard. Before I close for today, I would like you to, have a glimpse of what we'll be talking about next in order to, continue the series. In our next video, we'll be talking about the social quotient, the spiritual quotient, and the adversity quotient. I'm going to link these three up, and you are going to see for yourself those areas you have to work on. The main purpose for this topic is for us to be able to work on ourselves, work on wherever areas we think we have not been doing well. Talking about the social life, that you are spiritual does not mean you shouldn't be social, all right? And that you are social and that you are spiritual does not mean something bad will not happen to you. There are things we call unforeseen circumstances. When you have these 5 things joined together, it will help you in life to navigate whatever thing you are going through. It will help you in life to become better. It will improve your standard of living. and it will improve your total well-being, which will come back to your mind, because the total well-being still circulates around your mind. And your mind, I told you from the beginning that your mind cannot be separated from your intelligence. So if your mind is right, then that means you have all-round intelligence. The health we are talking about, when we say health is wealth, it's talking about the soundness of your mind. So until next time, goodbye.